This is gonna be funny.
Hell yeah.
All right, I just hit record. All right, so everybody's mic sounds good. Make sure I'm not echoing. All right, Dad, go ahead. You can go ahead and do the episode.
Let me kick it off.
Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
You were supposed to kick this one like the last. All right, hey, Classic Culture fans, man, we're back here with a special guest, Scott Pagano, a member of the 2016-2017 team that went to the national championship, the 2017-2018 Clemson Tiger team that won the national championship. A monster on the defensive line, was a monster of Monalua, huh?
So we gassing.
He did his thing. So a monster on the defensive line at Clemson, transferred to Oregon. We just want to talk to him about that process, what it looked like playing college football at that high level, D1, again, a national champion. And just kind of kick it with him. A good, long-standing friend of the family. I've known him for a long time. Before we even kick off, I got to tell the story. My son knows it. So my son, Steven, he was a late bloomer. You know what I'm saying? He was like 17. He was like 5'1". You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sitting at home and he mentions he wants to have a friend spend the night. So, me and his mom were like, yeah, cool, no problem. And then 6'4", 280 Scott Pagano comes in the house. Man, I thought it was some R. Kelly shit. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, this dude look like a whole pedophile. I didn't know what was going on. But no, man, Scott looked like a grown man at like 13. You know what I'm saying? You seen that little kid, you seen the 12-year-old that was playing? Yeah, that's what Scott started that. Scott did it first. No, but man, Scott, it's great to have you on, man. How's everything?
It's going good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, Steven. Steven got like a script and shit. So
no. So I mean, my dad kind of told that little short story there. But I mean, I've known Scott for it's 2022, at least 12, 13 years. Met as military kids in Hawaii. We weren't really super close. I mean, I don't think we were super close until maybe your senior year, my junior year, when you committed to Clemson. That gave us more stuff to talk about. You were really like a bodyguard, to be honest. Like you were just a bodyguard for me. That's how I felt.
5'1".
That's how I felt, at least. But yeah, I mean, let's just get right into it, man. When did you realize that you could really take it farther than most people when it comes to football? Like when did that hit you?
Man, I don't really know. Like my freshman year, I guess off my size, I guess I kind of knew I had a shot. But I don't know, maybe halfway through my sophomore year in high school, I think the light just kind of flicked on.
So you was busting people's ass, huh?
Exactly. Like, it's how it feels. It's how it's supposed to be. You got to dominate your opponent. Like, if you want to play at the next level, we got to dominate every game. Like, it don't matter who you're playing. So once that sophomore season ended and going to my junior year with the off season, and me and my dad, we just worked our asses off, like worked out 5 times a week, did beach workouts, speed workouts, all that good stuff. And also worked out after school sometimes with Coach Savai. He's at San Diego State right now with Noah and all of them. So all the Acelus, big shout out to them.
Oh, yeah.
Working out with them as well after practice. I think that's what really helped me kind of burst onto the scene my junior year in high school. And then from there, the rest is history.
And just to kind of go back a little bit, I don't know if this is true. Did you start your freshman year or did you start your sophomore year of high school?
I mean, I started halfway through my freshman year, but at first, I had some trouble with, getting my grades up and wanting to do the right things on the field and whatnot. So it kind of took me a while to get used to it. But I think like the homecoming game my freshman year was my first start, and ever since then, I was always a starter.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And before we kind of go on to like college and then further than that, as far as like your high school football career, a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna ask you, like we've never talked about, which is kind of weird. Like when I was thinking about like having a conversation with you like this, I would never ask you some of these questions. But what is like, how can I put this? Like, what is your most like memorable moment of like high school football? If you have any.
I don't know, man. There's a lot that stick out. Obviously, the relationships you build with the guys there in the offseason, in season, all that good stuff. But I think two things that stand out. One, my junior year, when we played Farrington, my junior year for senior night, you know, we were supposed to get our butts whooped by like 3 touchdowns, and we really took it to Farrington the entire game. And then, you know, we just unfortunately we lost at like the last second. But I mean, I think we kind of got respect from everyone around the state. That was like another coming out party in a sense. I remember watching film the next day. Coach Martinez just kept, you know, rewinding the clips, you know, every now and then. He's like, you keep doing this, you'll play on Saturdays. And that always stuck with me. And then my senior year, the first playoff game we had, my D-line coach came and watched it, Coach Brooks. And
Wait. Your D-line coach.
Somebody at Clemson.
At Clemson, yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, so my senior year, Coach Brooks came down from Clemson to watch me play, and we were playing Waipahu. And good Lord Almighty, I played terrible in the first half. I had 2 personal fouls. I jumped off sides. It was terrible. But you know, I went in at halftime. My dad kind of talked me, put me aside. It's like, dude, like, you can't think about that shit. Like, you just got to go play. Just go play free. Like, don't think too much. Like, just do it. And the second half, I came out, I think, in the fourth quarter, I think I had 4 sacks in the fourth quarter, maybe like, I swear to God, maybe like 10 or 12 quarterback pressures. I mean, the fourth quarter was like, I like blacked out in a sense. Like, it was like a new person in there. And it was just kind of crazy.
So in that first half, I mean, do you think it was nervousness that Coach Brooks was there? Like, was that in your head, that first half?
Yeah, for sure. And there were some questionable calls. Like, I stripped the ball out of a dude's hand, and they said I grabbed his face mask. And that game was actually on TV. And if you go back to the TV copy, I don't even touch his face mask. Because I jerked the ball so hard, his face turned. So they assumed I grabbed his face mask.
No, for sure. So kind of talking about Coach Brooks and Clemson. Obviously you have the Clemson sweater, so we know you went there. But why did you ultimately choose Clemson? And before you say this, I want to give my story on this. But before you ultimately choose Clemson, was there another school that you almost went to? I know you were a big Florida Gators fan growing up. I'm pretty sure. I know I'm not tripping there. But before you answer that, I remember, Dad, because I don't think I told you this. Everybody at school knew I was a Clemson fan. There was no other Clemson fans at school. Everybody knew that's the team I was rocking with. And I remember they offered Scott, and I was convincing this dude every day. I was like, bro, go to Clemson, bro. Go to Clemson. Every day, this dude told me, I'm not going to Clemson. I'm not going to Clemson. Then this dude commits out of nowhere. I come to school the next day like, bro, yeah. I was hella hyped. But why did you choose Clemson? And was there another school that was closer in the running there?
Yeah, so I went on like my 4 visits in July, my junior year, going to my senior year. I went to LSU, who was my number 1 school going into everything.
With Coach O.
LSU, Alabama, Florida, and Clemson. Clemson was last, like at the bottom of the barrel. Like, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
So when I went to LSU, like it was a good visit, whatnot, but it wasn't something where I don't think I could see myself being at for 4 or 5 years. And then I went to Alabama. You can imagine, I had everything you could think of. I fell in love with it, and I almost committed there. But you know, my mom was like, you know, you got 2 more schools to go visit. So I was like, all right, I'll be patient. Went to Florida. Love Coach Muschamp, doing a great job at Georgia, but I just did not have a good time there.
Really?
It was very fun.
What was wrong with it?
Huh?
What was wrong with it?
I don't know, man. Like, they were just showing me stuff that just I didn't really care about. Like, it wasn't part of the football. Like, for some reason, the guy who was on my visit, or like my tour guy, whatever, he took me through like the Olympic pool area that they have there. It's like, I ain't gonna be swimming at I'm not gonna walk into it. And it's funny because like my mom said the same thing. She's like, why are you showing us this stuff? Like the basketball court, like I don't care about that. Like, show me the football side. Like, what do y'all have to offer that's gonna make me successful on and off the field? Like, I don't care about a basketball court a baseball field, a swimming pool. I mean, I'm from Hawaii. I can just go outside and go to the pool or go to the beach. I mean, it didn't matter to me. And then when I got to Clemson, I don't know, man. I was tired. Like, we hit up those 3 schools in like 5 days. So I'm dog ass tired. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to go to Clemson. Maybe tomorrow we'll go for a visit. She was like, no, you're going to get your ass up and go. You told these damn coaches that you were going to go to this all-in cookout. And I was like, all right, I'll go. So I met all the coaches, and, it was something about that family atmosphere. And like, I thought it was really cool that they had an all-in cookout for all their top recruits and for all the players to be around the recruits. And you kind of get to talk to them. And that's how I got with Tosh Boyd. Me and him, obviously, we still follow each other. We'll talk to this day. But that's how me and Tosh kind of connected at that all-in cookout. And then just being around Coach Sweeney and just hearing his vision on what he had for the program and where he wanted to take it. I could see it and I could believe it. And I wanted to be a part of that. So it was kind of a no-brainer. Obviously, Coach B's like the mastermind of defenses in college football. So to be able to learn from him and be with the best D-line coach in the country at the time with Coach Brooks, I mean, it was a no-brainer. It was a win-win situation.
Now, a lot's been made that Clemson kind of has this different model in terms of recruiting, right?
Mm-hmm.
They recruit a little different than your normal powerhouses. But you mentioned that family atmosphere, and Taj is a family friend as well, and we've known him for a long time. I mean, he kind of said the same thing, that's really kind of what caught him. So what is it about the Clemson family atmosphere that obviously Clemson recruits at a high level? Yeah. What do you think it is that just brings people in, especially in comparison to places like a Alabama, right? A place that recruits differently, but still just brings people in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the biggest thing, Clemson, they look at you more than just a football player. Like, I know, like, certain schools, they look at you for just a football player. Like, I'll never forget it. I've never told anyone this story, but obviously my mom's seen it. Okay. I went to Alabama.
We breaking news here.
Uh-oh.
I went to Alabama, and I'm getting my arms pulled out. I'm doing my height weight. They want to see how long my arms are. Like,
this is like combine.
Like, okay, like, you might grow this much or whatever like that. Like, it was so weird. And no other school did that to me. Like, I was at the damn combine in college, getting sized up, in the weight room doing shit. I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
So what is it that you liked about Alabama? Because you said you left Alabama like feeling it.
Exactly. But at the time, I'm thinking, oh, maybe that's how every place is supposed to do it.
Got you.
Okay, yeah.
What? And then when I went to Florida, I was like, okay, they didn't do that to me. And then Clemson was like totally different. It's just they just care about you more as a person. Like, they want to make sure they give you the tools to be successful after football. Like, right. Yeah, it's fine and dandy if you go play in the pros for 5, 8, 10 years. But, like, it's very important to Coach Sweeney that you get that dang degree and you go do something with it. And I think that's the biggest thing. And the culture there is too. The culture is very different. I think he gets guys in that place that are selfless and that are team guys. Like, I mean, I was fortunate enough to be in the senior meetings as a sophomore at Clemson. And that means that, the guys spoke highly of you because the guys vote on that. Like, the seniors go in, Coach Williams like, okay, we'll get some juniors and sophomores in there, and these are some guys that I think can be in our senior meetings. And the guys are like, yes or no. So I think that's also a big accomplishment, and it kind of just kind of shows like your work ethic and how selfless you are, a team leader, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and also, I know you said LSU, Florida, Clemson, Alabama were your official visits. Were you like in contact with any other like big coaches? Other than like just like letters and stuff, because I'm sure you got hundreds of letters. But I mean, like on the phone with coaches and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Coach O when he was at USC.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I can't remember Nebraska at one time. This is also a very good story. So Nebraska, the first time they gave me an offer, they came to see me work out during the off season going into my senior year. And I guess they were just so blown away. They came back out with 2 other coaches 2 weeks later.
To Hawaii.
And say it again.
To Hawaii?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, they brought 2 more coaches out and brought them to Hawaii to watch me work out again. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then, you know, like on Facebook, when Facebook was a big thing,
Yeah.
when I was getting recruited, like it was always on Facebook, not Twitter now. Nowadays it's Twitter.
Yeah.
But, you know, like they would send me messages and whatnot on Facebook, and I was always responding to it. And then it got to my mom, to my dad. I'm like, okay, like, kind of creepy. And then it became a 24/7 thing where like it was like a crazy stalker.
So did that turn you off? Did that turn you off?
Yeah, I told them, don't even bother. Like, don't bother.
He said he don't want to be a corn husker.
So what were you looking for as you're kind of mentally going through this, right? And you had 4 obviously blue blood, great programs. What are you looking for in a program at this time?
I think the biggest thing was the academic part too. Like I wanted to make sure that I was going to a place where it was known for academics. Like Clemson's a top 25 public university for academics. So I knew if I had that on my resume, I knew it would look really good. So that was the biggest thing. And second off, making sure they had my major, you know, which obviously.
So what was your major at the time? What was your major at the time? Huh?
Sociology, something very hard. So yeah, but and then just the football culture wise, like, you know, it was, did I want to be a part of the norm? Like when you go somewhere, you're expected to win national championships, or did I want to go somewhere where that wasn't the norm? It's like they'd never heard of that. Like, they would laugh at you if you thought Clemson could win a national championship. Because I remember till this damn day, I did my signing day interview, and I wish I knew who this guy was, but he was talking to me. He was like, you know, like, why'd you pick Clemson, man? It was some news guy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know, man, because I believed in the vision Coach Sweeney had, and I really think in 2 or 3 years we're going to win a national championship. And he kind of laughed at me, and I was like, that's fine. And I think it's so funny how in 2 or 3 years
you won a national championship. So
no one ever heard of Clemson in Hawaii. They all made fun of me. They thought it was a D2 school or junior college. But now everyone wants to rep Clemson in Hawaii. So I just think it's so funny how everything works out.
So I got a question, and this has been a concern specifically for Hawaii. 1, did you ever look at Hawaii? And 2, why do you think Hawaii, and we're talking about obviously the Warriors, why do you think they have a hard time keeping recruits in Hawaii?
Yeah, so I'm going to keep it real. I really was interested in Hawaii a little bit because I didn't know where I could play at, where I could go. Mm-hmm. And, you know, once my junior year, because going into my junior year, they were my only offer.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm only going to play at Hawaii or maybe the West Coast. But, you know, maybe a couple of weeks after football ended, I made my highlight tape and sent it out. I think within the first week, I went from 1 to 18 offers. I was getting maybe three offers a day. I remember one day I was at my boy Chaz's house, and it was Washington, Pittsburgh, and Oregon State, just like that. Bam, bam, bam. Like, hey, call me real quick. Call me. And I was like, okay, like maybe like this is what it feels.
He's feeling himself, what?
And I got invited to this Nike football training camp out in Dallas. And I was like, okay, Dallas, there's very good football out there. There's some good recruits. So I ended up going out there, and I did a very good job. I think I was top 3 of the D-line class there. So I was top 3 in my performance. And then once that happened and that news article came out about my name and whatnot, I think everything just kind of took off. And I think I ended up going from 18 offers to close to 60, if not more, going into my senior year. And there were some colleges that called and came by Honolulu High School, and my head coach, Coach Martinez, would turn them away because he would say he's not going to go there or he wouldn't even think about it. So there are probably some other schools who were going to give me an offer that I have no clue about. But, you know, it made sense, though, because I'm not going to waste my time. Don't waste your time. So, you know, in a sense, it made sense. You know, like it wasn't a big deal. But, you know, he would tell me, like, so-and-so came by, but I told him we weren't going to be interested or that's not even worth the time. So I was like, all right.
Okay. Now, was there a little small school dark horse that maybe didn't, but you were at least somewhat interested in, that kind of, maybe nobody knows about, but in the back of your mind, you had a little interest in them?
Yeah, I will say Ole Miss. Ole Miss, yes, I know. But I think Lane Kiffin was there during that time. Ole Miss. Okay. And then I liked Oregon for a long time, but when Chip Kelly and Coach Az left, I didn't really bother no more, because Coach Az would always come out to Hawaii like every time they would go recruit, and me and him had a good relationship. But once he left to go to the pros with Chip Kelly, I just kind of shut Oregon away.
Okay.
And I mean, on the topic of, now that you're talking about Clemson and being there and ultimately choosing that team, or that program, what was it like? Because obviously, like every kid that plays sports, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever the case may be, they want to play in like collegiate level, but they don't know really the how much hard work it is or the consequences it is. So what was it like a day in the life of being a Division I football player? Like what was it like?
Yeah. So look, it all depends on where you're at. So right now I'll make it easy. So if we're in season, let's just start with Monday. So Monday you have workouts at maybe 5:30, 6 a.m. And then when you get done, you got to eat breakfast at the Paw. At the Paw, you eat breakfast. After that, you go to class. After class, you might have tutors. After that, you go back to class. After that, you might have tutors again. If you're done for the day, you go back to the stadium, and you get lunch. You get taped up. You kind of watch film before the team meeting starts. Team meeting every day was at 2:10. Didn't matter what it was. Team meeting at 2:10. And after that, you had a special teams meeting about 2:30. Then you had segment meetings from about whenever you broke out of special teams until walkthrough. Walkthrough was like 4 o'clock, 4:05. So from 4:05 to 4:15, you're in a walkthrough. You're going against the offense you're going to see for that week. So whether we're putting in a new blitz or stunts up front or coverages, or doing that in the walkthrough. After that, you got practice for about 2.5 hours. After that, you get treatment, cold tub, hot tub, or whatever else you need. And then you got dinner. So you're looking at, now some guys after dinner, they got to go back to study hall, or they got tutoring. So some guys ain't getting home till probably 9 o'clock at night, 10 or 11.
So
you're up doing the same thing.
So, I mean, obviously at this point in time, you're a young man on the football team, right? At a obviously young point in your life, how do you find that balance between being a student athlete, which, as you just kind of pointed out, takes most of your day, and having a social life, right? Being young, girls, whatever else it is, maybe going out. Where does that fit in? Where does being a human and having a social life fit in?
I'll tell you what, during football season, it's very hard. But, my freshman year, it took me a while, though. My freshman year, it was pretty rough. Like, it's embarrassing. I think my freshman year had like a 1.6 GPA. Like, I couldn't balance my life, football life, school, tutoring, studying. Like,
but that's real.
Enough time in the day for all that. And I didn't do a very good job in school. I wasn't studying like I was supposed to, because I was so dang tired from practice and everything else. But I think once you kind of get through that first phase, that first semester, and everything hits you, now you kind of know what to expect, and you can plan better, and you can prioritize things. Like, I went from a 1.6 my first semester, and then my next semester, I was 2 points away from a 4.0 GPA.
You were, or the tutors were? Huh? I said you were, the tutors were.
No credit whatsoever.
No, for sure. Oh, so I want to know, back to football, because I mean, we talk enough school. I got classes and stuff. I don't want to talk about school right now.
Yeah.
I know my dad ain't been in school in 30 years, but but what was the craziest college football like atmosphere or stadium you played in, besides like playoffs, like at somebody else's home field? Like, what was the craziest?
Somewhere else?
Yeah, like an away game.
Yeah, there's two that come to mind. So I'm gonna go my redshirt freshman year. We're playing at Georgia, 3:30 kickoff, and you want to talk about that's probably the loudest stadium I've ever been to. Like, I had a headache during the game, and it just got worse and worse throughout the entire game. I think I slept the entire ride home on the way back. But they had Todd Gurley and all them, and they whooped. I think Nick Chubb was a freshman then. They whooped our ass up, and they whooped our ass only in the fourth quarter. Like, it was a close ass game, and then once that fourth quarter hit, they just kept running some damn toss play or something. I just felt like every time Nick Chubb touched the ball, he was scoring.
Was that the game? Was it a season opener?
Yeah, that's when Cole Stout, that's when Deshaun was a freshman.
And Todd Gurley returned to kick, right?
That's right.
You were there at Clemson for 3 or 4 years?
3.5.
Okay, and so when you decided, hey, I'm going to transfer, was Oregon the only team that you kind of wanted to go to, or was there other options?
So there was – what was there? So within the first, I don't know, maybe 12, 15 hours that I submitted my papers in and I announced I was in the portal, I think close to 40 schools contacted me just like that. And it was the same ones from high school. And I was surprised. And you know who called me? One of the first coaches called me?
Nick Saban.
Larry Johnson.
Who's that?
Oh, at Ohio State.
Right. Yes.
Oh
D-line coach at Ohio State.
Yep, that's right. And you know what? Believe it or not, Ohio State was my dream school coming out of high school. But they couldn't recruit that far because of the sanctions they had.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I couldn't get an offer. That was the only school I wish I could have gotten an offer and wouldn't go visit. But because of their recruiting sanctions, I couldn't go visit.
Wait. I got a question. What do you mean recruiting sanctions?
You remember Ohio State had the situation? Yep, with the Terrell Pryor, yeah. And that's right about when he was being
so far for like a couple of years. There he is.
Yeah. So, hey, before we get on to Oregon and that whole process, I just want to talk about what was it like? Obviously, you played in 2 national championship games.
Yes.
What is that like? What do you feel, especially now at this point in time? By the time you get to national championship games, you are a veteran of college football, right? So you're probably at a place now where this all feels pretty normal.
Yeah.
But what did it feel like, just that day walking into the stadium, knowing that you're playing for a national championship?
Yeah. Well, I think the first time we went, I think all of us were just like still in awe, like even the coaches, just because like Clemson hasn't been in one since 1981. Right. And then when we got there in 2015, we were all like, wow, this is so cool. Like, we're taking videos, pictures. And, it's just
so
cool.
You're just happy to be there.
Yeah, like you're just kind of soaking in the moment, because you're not going to get it again. Like, there was no guarantee we were going to come back next year and be there. So, I mean, we just kind of soaked it in. And, we were a young team. Like, there were some games that season where we were very fortunate enough to come on the better side of it. Yeah. And being on the losing side. But, I mean, it was just cool. Like, just walking in and you're seeing national championship everywhere. You're seeing the national championship logo. You're seeing Alabama, Clemson, just everywhere. Like, going in, driving up into the the stadium in Phoenix. I know Steven. I got Steven a ticket.
Yeah.
Steven a ticket. And
I'm still jealous.
So,
I'm still jealous to this day.
Yeah, so, I mean – And it was cool, during pregame, I got to go talk to them for a little bit and see them. So I thought that was really cool. And obviously, postgame, I saw them. They came back to the hotel and everything like that. But,
that was an experience, boy. That hotel was an experience, bro. Boy, you're fainted in there.
He was fangirling. He was in there fangirling.
He was.
No, for sure.
It was his best to not fangirl, though.
No, so I mean, just to kind of spin off that. So, like you said, he got me tickets to that. That is by far my door shut. I'm gonna say this. By far the best day of my life. That's even on top of my wedding. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Okay, don't mess up a happy home. Don't mess up a happy home.
She knows that, but I gotta whisper. But go ahead.
So okay. How do you guys go from just being in awe, right, to national championship number 2? And did that feel more like this is revenge, this is business?
Yeah, it was more of the second game was more of a business trip. Like we already knew what to expect, all the extra festivities they got going on during the week. Like we knew what was going on, and we were there to avenge the loss because we personally felt that we should have beat Alabama the first time. We were probably 3 or 4 plays away from beating Alabama, and we just knew if we would come in, play as a team, do our job, we would get that national championship. Now, we didn't start off very good. We were down 14-0 pretty damn quick. I was like, we're about to get blown out on TV.
Wait, I want to know, how was it? Because obviously Clemson won on a last-second pass. Like, bro, what did that feel like? Like, that must have been the craziest feeling in the world.
Bro, I can't even tell you that. I blacked out. Like, I don't even remember what happened.
I think I blacked out in the living room.
all I remember was looking up at the screen and seeing the pass go to Renfro.
Yeah. And it was a pick. That was offensive pass interference.
That's all I remember.
No, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that because, like I said, I'm pretty sure I cried, and I'm not even on the team. So I can't imagine how y'all felt.
Dude, it was so crazy, man.
Now you were there. The Kelly Bryant, Trevor Lawrence, like the turnover. Oh no,
that was my. So Kelly took over for 1 year, and that 1 year he took over. That's when I went to Oregon.
Okay,
so Kelly took over 1 year, and they lost to Alabama in the semifinals.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you just a question now. Now you were a grad transfer, correct?
To an extent, yes.
Okay, so what is your thought? And obviously this is blown up since even you transferred. Yeah. What's your thought in the current state of college football with the whole transfer portal and just what is your thoughts? And this is somebody who obviously went through it. Yeah. Somebody who's played college football. Yeah, what do you think of it?
Well, one thing I am pissed off that I ain't getting no money out of any of this. Bullshit. I could have made some money, but if I'm being real, I mean, I think they should go back to how the rules were when I was
with the 1 year penalty.
It's like where if you graduated though, you can leave with no penalty, or if your coach leaves or your coach gets fired, whatnot, then you can leave. That's cool. But guys that are jumping ship to ship every year, like buddy JT Daniels, like God bless his soul, but he's transferred 4 or 5
4 times. Yeah,
he was at USC, went to Georgia, went to West Virginia. Now he's back in the portal. Like, I mean, what exactly are you looking for? And now I will say this though, sometimes it works out for guys though, like maybe guys at smaller schools who wasn't recruited heavily. Now they're balling out. They're making a name for themselves. Now,
like the running back from Alabama, Gibbs, he was at Georgia Tech, right?
Exactly, right. A smaller Power 5 school, and now he's killing it at Alabama, at one of the top 5 programs in the country. So sometimes it works out, and it works out for the guy. Or like there's a guy that we have right now that play at Dublin High School where I coach at. He went to Western Kentucky, and he was Conference Player of the Year. And I think he's going into the portal, or he is in the portal. I don't know. It's on live. Oh, well, so be it. But, that's his chance now to get a higher level school to come get him. And now that NIL money becomes bigger. So something like that, like that's good for a guy like that. Like that's for the right cause and the right reason.
I mean, I think you took the correct approach, right? And this is what I think I miss about college football. That guy who maybe doesn't start right away, but fights it out, keeps grinding. And maybe by their sophomore, junior year, their senior year, they do get that starting spot. Right now, you got kids who, if I'm a 4-star, if I'm a 5-star, and I don't start year 1, I'm leaving.
Exactly, and I think it's crazy. People like when I was in the portal, I guess I saw people like in articles saying like Pagano just didn't want to compete. If I didn't want to compete, I would have left after my redshirt year. Like, shut the hell up. Like, you have no idea. It's stupid, man. Like, people just will write whatever they want, and they just sound so dumb because they have no idea, like, what's going on behind closed doors. Like, I was never scared to compete. I compete with anything I do. Even now, all day and play pickup basketball with some of our kids in high school. I will run their asses to the floor. They ain't they charge in my damn gym. I am running your ass over.
I know we talked a little bit about the transfer portal and what you guys think that it should go back. But Scott, I kind of want to know if there was one thing. Well, a two question part. If there was one thing you could change about college football, whether it be a rule change or something that you think would make college football better, what would it be? Second part of the question would be, how do you feel about the expansion?
One thing they can change, targeting.
Okay, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Change it in what way?
Just leave it for quarterbacks, man. Like,
you don't give no disregard for human life.
I know. That's definitely a defensive lineman take.
It's becoming so soft. Like, you can't even turn on a football game on Sundays now without you got to, I guess, turn your body or, two-hand touch them. Like, you can't even go through someone. If you get close to their face, it's a damn 15-yard penalty. I think that's the stupidest shit ever. Like, obviously, if there's like some legit contact and it's serious, then yes. But like, if a linebacker is coming across and a guy's coming on a slant, like, he deserves to take his damn head off. Like, it's just defensive football, man. But that's just how, I guess I'm just so used to watching it growing up with my dad, or like, I guess how we played in Hawaii. Like, we were trying to take your head off every time. I think it's just so weird for me to see how soft football has become. Because I guarantee you, them kids in Hawaii do not give a shit about those rules. They are taking your head off, and they will take a 15-yard penalty.
Now, quick question. So did you ever in a game, was there ever a point where you were going to go make a hit and you slowed up because you were concerned about, getting a targeting or,
There's one time I could remember. We're playing Syracuse, and I'm running this stunt, and I come free. Mm-hmm. And the running back is coming to cut me. And in my head is like, if I dive out and launch myself and spear the quarterback, will that be targeting? Mm-hmm. So I just got cut by the running back. But I feel like if I dove and speared the quarterback, my ass would have got ejected. But it's just like, do I get cut and possibly get my leg broken because I don't want to hit the quarterback? Like, it's just not fair, like, in certain things. I mean, I'm not saying, like, if a kid is got a kill shot, go get it. I mean, like, you got to be smart, though, too. Like, you got to be a football player. Like, I'm not trying to take someone's life out if I got a kill shot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just let them have it or fight through the ball. Like, I think guys don't understand that either. But I'm not trying to injure a guy, like, seriously. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
No, I got you.
And you said the second part was, your thoughts on expansion.
Yeah, the playoff.
12.
Yeah. I thought it was the top 12 teams that get in. Now it's every conference that wins gets in as well, and then the other teams get in. I have no idea how this shit works, but I don't know. I don't really care, honestly. It's good for football, I guess. I mean,
to you, it's just so-so?
We'll see.
I mean, 12 is a lot. I'd probably go 8.
Yeah, so I think 12 is a lot as well.
I think we'll end up changing it maybe in a few years back to 8 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Or you might go to March Madness. You might get 64 in that bitch.
Yeah, that'd get ridiculous.
That would be crazy. But kind of moving on from the college scene, what was it like trying out for the Seahawks? I know you said you were injured, but what was that process like?
It was good, man. You're up early, like very early, and the meetings are very long. Like, I thought our meetings at Clemson were long, but at Seattle at least, they were at least like 2.5 hours long. I'm in there like, good God, like, I'm just snacking on shit, just drinking water, trying to do something. And then you have a walkthrough. And, I'm coming out of college, and we think a walkthrough is a walkthrough. Fuck no. You are full sprinting, everything. Like, I was drenched before lunchtime. So we had a walkthrough, lunch, and then you go back to practice. And then you have an actual practice. And you have a walkthrough again at practice. And then you do the actual practice. And then after that, you come in, you shower up, you eat dinner, and then you have like 2-hour meetings, and then you got to do install stuff. You probably get home about maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night. sometimes. I mean, it was a lot, but it wasn't terrible. I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a really good D-line coach, and Pete Carroll is an interesting cat. I think the coolest thing I like about Pete Carroll though is that we got to so every team meeting, it was a basketball competition. So you get one guy from defense, one guy from offense. You got 30 seconds to shoot as many free throws as you can, and you got to get one guy to go rebound the ball. So you got to have a guy that's good at rebounding because it's in the dang team meeting room. So if you hit it and it bounces off the rim, it might hit a chair and fly somewhere else. You can have someone good that can run around and grab the ball. So that was always pretty cool too.
Now, did you notice a major difference, and obviously from high school to college, and then really from college to NFL, and just the level of talent that these players, offensive linemen, other defensive linemen had?
So I would say from high school to college was speed. And then from college to pros was just technique.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that speed's a huge difference from college to pro. I mean, if you're fast, you're fast. If you're not, you're not. But the technical side, though, was a huge difference. Now, there's guys in college that have bad technique, but they're just strong and fast and get away with it. But in NFL, man, I just felt like they had really good technique. Like if I was high and they got their hands inside, I was probably
– You was done.
Yeah, exactly. I was done. So, there's always a different level of transition that you got to get used to. But, I mean, I really enjoyed my time, whether I played for a month, a year, 2 years, 5 years. I think just being able to say that you got to that level, there's not many guys that can say that. So I really enjoyed my journey, even if some things didn't work out the way they were supposed to. I really enjoyed it. I think it helped me, become more mature when I got to Oregon. I was there on my own. I had to do a lot of things on my own. I had to pay bills for the first time. I had to learn how to pay for my car and my insurance, stuff like that, getting rent. So, I mean, it helped me grow up a lot, like mentally, physically, whatnot. And, I always stay in contact with, some guys at Clemson that coach there now. Like my roommate is now, he's an offensive analyst at Clemson.
Who is this?
Crowder.
Me and him were roommates at Clemson, and Coach Sweeney loved me and him doing board drills together. If we were in full pads, he did not even have to call our names out. We just knew we were going to go against each other. So that was always fun. And I remember taking him out to Hawaii, him and Maverick. Maverick is at ULM as offensive line coach. Mm-hmm. I took them out to Hawaii one time for spring break, and, they had a blast. And, we always stay in touch and whatnot. So it's always good, man.
Who was your funniest teammate? Who was like the motherfucker that just cracked everybody up?
Let me wait. Let me try to guess. Let me see if I can.
You might not know it probably.
No. So if I had to guess, I'm gonna guess one person on offense and one person on defense. I mean, I met Tyrone. He's funny, so I'm gonna say him, but that might not be right. I'm gonna say him, but he's hella funny. The second person, this might be a dumb answer, or it could be spot on. Is it J-Ron Curse?
Nah, not J-Ron.
No? Okay. I thought it would be him.
J-Ron not funny. He just talk loud.
Oh, okay. I remember I used to FaceTime you a lot. He was always yapping in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and Albert Huggins.
But I don't know if you heard of his name was Sterling Johnson. He played at Clemson.
He's a D-lineman.
Transferring to Coastal Carolina. That is probably the funniest dude I've had in my life. Like if we're in the meeting room, that's a D-line. He might say something, like he might do something bad on film, and coaches ask him, like, what are you doing here? Or what were you thinking? And he'll say something like smart ass, smart, and we just die and they're laughing. Or we were trying to put our shirts over our face, just laughing. He is a character.
Okay. And I mean, obviously, like we know, now everybody who watches our show, and obviously my dad knows a little bit more about you, but we know about your college career and your high school and pro career a little bit. What was it like transitioning from being a player to now obviously coaching in high school and being a coach?
Yeah, it's good, man. I enjoy it. This is my 4th year now coaching high school ball. It's just different, I think the generations are different. It is different. It is different. It's not what I've been used to being in Hawaii. Not many kids want to go get it. They they want things to be handed to them on like a silver platter or something like that. And that's what it comes down to now. Like, I guess people go on social media and they see like, oh, this guy's doing it so fast, like I'm not getting it, so now I'm just gonna quit. Like, you gotta work towards what you want. Like, you get what you deserve. You know what I mean? So, but it's been fun. Like, I always try to give my knowledge, experience, feedback, like from when I played, whether high school, college, pro, like whatever it is, like to help them out, because they always ask those questions too, like what was it like, or how'd you do this, whatnot. So I just try my best to give back to the kids, like whatever they need or want. I do my best to help them out with it, even though sometimes it may irritate me. But
yeah, I was gonna ask because you're not a little guy. Have you ever almost had to snatch a motherfucker up when these little kids getting disrespectful?
Probably once or twice. That's it. But sometimes I think like if I get fired, it's gonna be bad, or I ain't going to jail over for some kid that's. I'm not gonna go to jail for something that's gonna last 5 seconds. Sometimes you just gotta kind of brush it off, or like just take a deep breath, or just turn away. I think that's been the biggest thing I've learned so far in coaching. Sometimes a kid's going to have a bad day or whatnot, and there's just sometimes you just got to kind of walk away from it, or just turn your back, or even sometimes reach out to that parent. Be like, hey, I'm talking to Jimmy at practice, and, he's doing this. Can you kind of talk to him or see what's going on? Just something at school that's bothering him, or at home, like, because, some of these kids, some of them may go through some crazy stuff outside of football. So, you don't ever want to like push that button or, overstep your boundaries. So, sometimes just hitting up that parent guardian, say, hey, Jimmy, was this at practice? Like, just check up on him, whatnot.
No, for sure. And kind of on that, obviously that's what you're doing as a job right now, but what is like your end goal, or like your dream job? Like, obviously professional football didn't really work out. But what would be your dream job? If you could really point one out.
I think the dream job, I would love to go back to Clemson and coach in some capacity, whether I'm a GA, analyst, a D-line coach one day, or even a defensive coordinator. I mean, something like that. I would love to be a DC at the college level. Now, I think I got the right tools to be a head coach, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes in the future. Okay,
that's awesome, man. Dad, you got anything else? I know we're running on an hour, and he probably got somewhere to be. He's a busy man, but you got anything else for him?
No. Hey, obviously, from somebody who spent the night at our house, to through your whole story, we've all kept up with your entire story. Obviously, as a friend of my son, man, super proud of you. Like you said, man, you got to live out every football player's dream, right? Only of the millions of kids that play football, if at the high school level, at the middle school level, at the Pop Warner level, very few of them are going to play at the college level, especially at D1, especially at Clemson, especially playing in 2 national championships, especially with the opportunity to play in the NFL. So, man, super proud of you. Thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man. And, I know there's news out there, I won't, but I'm very excited to see and hear what's next for you. Not news, but, I know there's some big things in your future. So we're very excited to see what's next for you.
Well, I was hella confused. I was hella confused. Man, about to have a kid or something.
Me too. Prayers to you, man. And I got to give you kudos, right? Because I don't think people know, and I think it goes into just like you mentioned, the mentorship, the really kind of taking on that major father figure role that it takes to be a coach. So the ability to pour back into our youth is a big deal, especially like you said in this day and age with things that kids have going on, and the fact that you can pour into kids with a story, with what it takes to get to the next level, right? We've all seen that talented kid that just won't work as hard as maybe they need to, right? And you have the ability to pour in them and really kind of give your story. So, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. Like I said, very proud of you. And we're gonna keep paying attention to what you do.
I appreciate it.
And kind of lastly, I mean, we love to have you on here. Hopefully, you come on here some more. We're
Yeah,
always,
yeah.
Let me know.
yeah, I know he's always watching the shows, debating sports and stuff. I know this is like the first kind of sit down interview we had. But lastly, just to kind of end the show, as we're going to continue to do these interviews, I want to know, is there one person that you could connect us with that you would like to have on the show and you think will be a good fit for the show to kind of tell the story the same way you did, kind of just break down their perspective on whether it's basketball or whatever they do. It could be whatever, family, friend, whatever relationship you have. Who's that one person that you can connect us with to kind of keep the ball rolling?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. There's definitely some options at Clemson and Oregon that I can easily pick out. But even like my roommate, like Tyrone.
Yeah, I actually talked to him already. He's down, but I know he's busy with beating up on the bad Orange team. So we're gonna wait till after that to talk to him.
I know once he gets done with their in-season stuff, I know in the off-season he'll have more time to do things. But I think Tyrone will be a really good one. I think I got a buddy at Oregon, Popo. I think he would do a really good job of that. Or even Isaac Slade. He's at SMU. I think he just finished up his college career. He's from Hawaii as well. He played at St. Louis. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that, I can connect with. I think they would absolutely enjoy it. I mean, everyone's got a different side, a different story. So, I mean, everyone's voice deserves to be heard, because, some people got some crazy-ass stories. Like, I'm not going to get too far into mine just because, I don't want something to come out or backfire. You never know. But, like, obviously, like, there just are some things that you do say, and then there's some things that you don't say. So,
you should have kept that Nebraska one in the hole. You might have pissed some Nebraska fans off. Man.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. They were stalkers.
It's okay.
Nah, but
we said Alex, Nebraska's stalkers. They lose their recruit.
Hey, Alex, that's on you, man. But hey, man, that's gonna do it for episode 11, 12, whatever we're on now. The first interview, the Scott Pagano interview. But appreciate you, man. Again, one of my closest friends, and hopefully you get back on the show this soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on, man.
All right,
All right, easy now.